if she hasn't had the children herself, or Harry hadn't been involved, then they can't be in the royal line. They have to have royal blood, those little ones. Without that, there's no chance of them becoming a member of the royal family.
If he has woken up somewhere in California and realised that he's messed up and that he's lost his family's respect, maybe he can make it work. The problem he's got is that nobody in the royal family thinks that anything they say to him won't be in the newspapers or on the airwaves within about 30 seconds, because they don't trust him anymore, because he and his odious wife keep opening their mouths.
You need to be over it yourself. Yes. I think it's very worrying for people who fear that they're not actually behaving or thinking or feeling right, that someone should come in who is not very confident that they will be better and tell you what to do. I don't know that will happen with Harry. I mean, if you looked at how he was in Colombia, he looked wretched, he looked dreadful. He looked as if he should go and see a doctor straight away. He laughed some of the time, but other of the time he was in a terrible state. Now, can somebody like that, who doesn't have a degree, his only experience is himself?
The most consistent theme out of everything with Harry, since Harry and Meghan, it's gone into complete overdrive over the course of the last 2 or 3 days, is that it's all about the press.
I spent 15 months with him and he was absolutely lovely, but all that's gone and he's really nice. He wants to get his own back, and I think that's what Meghan's telling him, and what Meghan tells him, that's what he does.
Anything, Harry and Meghan are actually playing a very nasty game at the moment.
Where will Meghan be? Will that marriage survive?
No.
Because you've seen this guy and you've thought to yourself, there's a barn pot. If I've ever seen a loser, that's him. He blames everybody.
No, of course it isn't. And actually, I think, from what I know from him, spending 15 months with him when I did his biography, to now, he seems to behave like a sort of child that he can only see from his own view. He can't think how his family would feel about anything.
He is one of the world's biggest jerks.
People like Meghan will always stay with the man if there's no better option.
Yeah, you have to be careful when you say these things. I don't quite know what the proof, what he wanted by saying that. It doesn't look good at any way you look at it. But he's got so many assistants, they've got huge staff, and they've got common sense that you should know that it's actually not a very good idea. It's a look before you leap.
Been called dumb by one of the heads of Spotify. And so he doesn't have a purpose. He doesn't have a direction. I'm sure his wife is freaking out as her stuff collapses. And so he just doesn't have anything. And so to try to reclaim the royal magic again, I'm sorry, I'm just not buying it.
Losers, enjoy Montecito.
So Prince Harry, the Duke of Dummies, has finally detonated his dignity. Forget world issues, forget the Commonwealth, forget his own family's stability. The Duke of Defensiveness has a new obsession, dragging royal biographer Angela Levin into court because she dared to say what millions have already noticed. Now Angela Levin, an older journalist with a notebook, has rattled the self-styled warrior prince so badly that he's stomping around Montecito, waving legal paperwork like a toddler brandishing crayons.
It's very tiring and it's very worrying. So you don't want a boy, because he might be 40, but he behaves like a boy.
That he is just a big kid. As he actually admitted, by the way, in one of the Well Child videos. Watch.
They've always said for many years that I still have a child inside of me.
Yeah. You've still got a child inside.
And the irony, the more he talks about legal action, the more Angela Levin's words go viral. Harry didn't silence her. He launched her into the algorithm's stratosphere. Instead of brushing it off, he's decided to turn one woman's commentary into a full-blown legal soap opera. The prince who once fought in Afghanistan now loses sleep over paragraphs in a book. But that wasn't the whole story. Angela Levin is not some TikTok troll. She's a royal biographer who has written extensively about the Windsors, respected enough to get direct access. When she says something, stomping. The press listens. And what did she say? That Harry and Meghan's PR doesn't line up with reality, that their carefully curated narratives are riddled with contradictions. Her words weren't hysterical. They weren't even mean. They were clinical observations delivered with the precision of someone who has studied royalty for decades. And that's exactly why Harry couldn't handle it.
And he says it's, it's for the greater good. Yeah. What does he mean by that? I don't know.
And then he goes all in supporting his fake victim, activist SJW wife Meghan Markle. And it's just all downhill from there.
Harry, this is really pushing it. You might find that this affects your life forever.
He didn't counter her with receipts. He didn't respond with dignity. He called in lawyers. A man who could have proved her wrong with a calm explanation instead decided to unleash courtroom chatter like it was an army. His reaction screamed insecurity louder than any critic ever could. And that's when the meltdown hit overdrive. Picture this. Angela Levin publishes her comments. The press covers it. Most royals would shrug it off, maybe issue a one-line statement and get on with their day. Not Harry. He decides it's Armageddon. He summons legal teams, circulates talk of defamation, and hints at dragging Levin through the courts. But here's the comedy. Every time Harry pulls this move, the headlines don't say Angela Levin was wrong. They say Prince Harry plans legal action. He thinks he's shutting down speculation. Instead, he's amplifying it. He thinks he's defending honor. Instead, he's advertising fragility. The more he leans on lawyers, the weaker he looks. He's turned himself into the first royal who can't handle criticism without drafting a subpoena. And Meghan, she was nowhere to be found. While Harry was running in circles with legal letters, Meghan was silent. And that silence wasn't noble. It was calculated.
Which I actually do not think is Harry's orchestration. I don't think he has the brains to do this. I think it's Meghan who has come up with this no-win situation. And Meghan is very good at creating no-win situations for people.
Prince Harry is all the evidence anyone should ever need to prove without a shadow of a doubt that all it takes is one woke activist woman to completely ruin a man. And that's exactly what has happened to Prince Harry ever since he came in contact with Meghan Markle. It has all been downhill to the point where he's abandoned his family. He's abandoned his friends. She's completely manipulated him in every single way.
When there's a Netflix special to promote, Meghan is front and center. When there's a magazine cover to pose for, she's glowing with smiles. But when Harry is losing his mind over Angela Levin's commentary, Meghan suddenly becomes invisible. The so-called warrior Duchess retreats to the shadows, leaving Harry to swing blindly at journalists while she watches from a safe distance. It's not unity. It's abandonment. Harry looks like the lone clown at the circus, juggling lawsuits while Meghan counts how many bottles of her rosé sold that week. He's the decoy. She's the strategist. And once again, he's the one who looks foolish. And this vanishing act only makes Harry's tantrum look more pathetic. Here's the delicious irony. Harry's legal fixation only confirms Angela Levin's point. A secure man with nothing to hide doesn't run to lawyers every time someone speaks. He laughs it off. He presents facts. He moves on. Harry does the opposite. Every time he circulates talk of court, he plants another seed of suspicion. Why so defensive? Why so angry? Why so desperate to silence words instead of disproving them? He's not calming the storm. He's feeding it.
Legal battle began. Late last week, Buckingham Palace confirming Prince Harry is suing the owners of both the Sun and the Mirror.
There's always a risk for Prince Harry in filing this kind of lawsuit. There's the potential for backlash.
We turn now to Prince Harry. He's on the witness stand this morning in his lawsuit against British tabloids, the first royal to testify in court in more than a century.
Prince Harry has filed another lawsuit.
And that's the pattern. Every time his feelings get a little hurt, he sues. Angela Levin didn't even need to double down. Harry did her work for her. His meltdown became Exhibit A in her case. His fury was the validation she never asked for. He turned himself into the punchline of the very story he was trying to hide. But the fallout was only beginning. Angela Levin didn't have to spend a penny on PR. Harry's meltdown gave her global exposure for free. In fact, the more Harry postured about legal action, the more people who had never heard of Angela Levin suddenly wanted to read her work. And Harry? He became a laughingstock. The prince who once charmed the world with cheeky grins is now mocked as a humorless litigant who can't handle a single sentence without calling in lawyers. He's gone from royal heartthrob to Montecito's most fragile resident.
Is one of the reasons why he looks so stressed and tired and worn.
Losers, enjoy Montecito.
And the damage was still spreading. Harry's overreaction isn't about Angela Levin personally. It's about what she represents. And she represents doubt. Harry and Meghan's brand is built on truth-telling. They sold books, documentaries, and speeches on the promise that their narrative was reality. Angela Levin poked holes in that narrative, and Harry panicked. And why, you ask? Because deep down, Harry knows his image is paper thin. He's terrified of being exposed as ordinary, petty, or hypocritical. That's why he overreacts. He can't stand that people might prefer Angela Levin's measured analysis over his pity party monologues. So instead of acting like a statesman, he acts like a spoiled celebrity brat, lawyering up at the faintest hint of criticism. He doesn't look like a defender of truth, he looks like a man running from it. And Meghan, she lets him take the fall while she polishes her next brand rollout.
Yes, I think that's an extraordinary thing to say, really. He wants to protect Meghan. All good luck to him.
If Harry is the meltdown, Meghan is the strategist. She doesn't need to scream or sue. She just lets Harry do the messy work while she waits to rebrand herself. It's cynical, it's cold, and it's devastatingly effective. For her, every time Harry burns his credibility in public, Meghan gets plausible deniability. She can claim she stayed quiet, above the noise, dignified. Meanwhile, she's perfectly happy letting her husband look like Montecito's angriest clown. Angela Levin didn't just reveal Harry's fragility. She revealed Meghan's calculation. The so-called power couple is really a solo act of chaos management. He rages, she retreats, he sues, she sells. Together, they're not a team. They're a train wreck staged for content, and the results are brutal. Harry's legal fixation didn't just fail, it backfired. Headlines around the world focused not on Angela Levin's words, but on Harry's meltdown. Pundits mocked him. Social media laughed. Even some supporters began to roll their eyes.
I think it shows how Harry is in his personal life, where he can be very nasty, actually, but he cloaks it in that sort of blokey humour.
And I thought that actually it's a time when he should have kept quiet about that.
Oh, it was so revolting. So revolting.
Every time he circulates court talk, he digs himself deeper. He doesn't look brave. He doesn't look strong. He looks ridiculous. Angela Levin doesn't have to fight him in court because he's already lost in the court of public opinion. The man who wanted to modernize royalty has turned himself into a meme. The boy who once symbolized cheeky resilience is now the poster child for fragility. Harry wanted to prove Angela Levin wrong. Instead, he proved her more right than she ever dreamed. And the verdict is savage. Here's the truth. Harry's obsession with legal action against Angela Levin is not power. It's weakness. Every lawyer's letter is a confession that he can't handle criticism. Every meltdown is another reminder that he's not the fearless soldier he pretends to be, but a fragile man terrified of daylight. Angela Levin doesn't need to publish another word. Harry is writing her best case himself. He's the only prince in history who could lose a fight to a biographer armed with nothing but a pen. A confident royal shrugs off criticism. A fragile one calls in lawyers. Harry has revealed himself, not as brave, not as strong, but as the prince of paperwork, the Duke of Defensiveness, the king of clown court. If Harry actually drags Angela Levin into a courtroom, the real winner won't be him. It'll be her, because courtrooms demand receipts, and Harry's empire runs on excuses.
The world has thrown challenges our way. What challenges, Harry? What the hell are you talking about? You live in a mansion in Montecito with 2 healthy children who you have decided to break off from the world. I really found this totally awful because the whole point of royalty, Brittany, is they talk about other people's problems, not their own. But Harry really struggles to do that.
At the end of the day, this isn't about Angela Levin at all. It's about Prince Harry proving, once again, that he can't handle even a whisper of criticism without sprinting for legal letters. The man who once wore a uniform now hides behind paperwork. The soldier became a solicitor's client. The cheeky prince who used to laugh with the press is now a humorless caricature, drowning in his own courtroom fantasies. Because here's the ugly truth. Royals survive on resilience, not revenge. The Windsor motto has always been, keep calm and carry on. Harry's motto, keep angry and call the lawyers. And that's why history won't remember him as a statesman or a reformer. It'll remember him as the prince who sued his own credibility into the ground. So now it's your turn. Do you think Prince Harry is right to even consider dragging Angela Levin into court? Or has he just exposed himself as the most fragile royal in history? Should he keep firing off lawyers at critics or finally face the truth like an adult? Drop your verdict in the comments below, because your take on this circus will probably be sharper than anything coming out of Montecito. And while you're here, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a single bombshell breakdown. The saga is only getting messier, and you're going to want front row seats when the next meltdown drops. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see Samantha Markle expose Meghan's biggest lie, Check out one of my previous videos on the top of the screen. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay informed. Only on Tea Time with Tina.